I go home, I tell my wife, I think the Lord told me that we're gonna have 3 sons, and here are the names. What happens if you tell everybody that God told you you were gonna have 3 sons and then you're wrong? I'm pretty sure you're telling me this, but I'm not completely positive, right? Because we don't have any children yet. And like, what am I gonna do? Walk around and tell people that we're gonna have 3 boys when we don't have any? I thought that God told me that we were gonna have 3 sons, and here's what actually happened. So my wife and I have been married for 23 years. We decided to wait 4 years before we had any kids. And how old was I? I want to say that I was 24 years old. And I was in the parking lot of Borders Books. I was actually in my car reading my Bible, spending time with Jesus, just doing the normal thing. And I'm reading the book of Deuteronomy, where Moses is charging the children of Israel before they cross over the Jordan River to go in to take the promised land, right? He's blessing each tribe. So he is very specifically naming each tribe and giving a blessing for each tribe. So he names 12 names. Well, the first name, Judah, really stands out to me. So I'm like, man, I'm really sensing and feeling like, man, God is telling me that we are going to have a son named Judah. And so lo and behold, the next name that I see is Asher. And I'm like, man, we're going to have a son named Asher. Third, Benjamin. We're going to have a son named Benjamin. I am confident that God is really speaking to me. And all the while, every time I read this, tears just flooding down my face. Just weeping, crying in just an overwhelmed state of hopefulness, and just like, wow, God is speaking to me right now. And I actually even have it underlined in my Bible, the names of each of the boys with a question mark that says sons, question mark, as if I'm pretty sure you're telling me this, but I'm not completely positive, right? Because we don't have any children yet. And like, what am I going to do? Walk around and tell people that we're going to have 3 boys when we don't have any? So I go home, I tell my wife, I think the Lord told me that we're going to have 3 sons, and here are the names. Well, she's like in full support. She's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. So I think this was 2 years before we had our first child. And so we end up getting pregnant, or Jennifer gets pregnant. And so we don't know what the child is going to be. So we do the thing where you can go check the gender of the baby, right? And it's a boy. I'm like, oh, whoa. Okay, that's amazing. The first one, okay, the first thing is true. Our first child is a son, is indeed a son. So we name him Judah, and he's our firstborn son. And so at this point, I'm gaining a little more confidence. So we were in a small local church back then, and there was this old timer that we knew. I say old timer. His name is Maurice Monaghan. He has since gone to be with the Lord in heaven. He passed away maybe 3 years ago. That guy used to get up at 4 a.m. every morning and spend time in prayer and in the Word every day at 4. My wife's trying to call, but I can't answer because I got to make this video. I'll call you back, babe. I decided I was going to share this with him. So I tell him, and he's like, yes. He's full on support, like, yes. I believe the word of the Lord. The Lord has spoken to you. This is awesome. Like, okay, that's cool. But I wasn't telling everybody because, for obvious reasons. I mean, what happens if you tell everybody that God told you you were going to have 3 sons and then you're wrong? That's not very fun. So we get pregnant again. Lo and behold, we have another son, and we name him Asher. The prophetic word, the thing that God told me, the prophetic word that God told me, is 66% fulfilled. Right? There's one more. So I'm like, okay. So I start telling more people, right? I'm like, yeah, God told me, that we're going to have three sons. I start speaking those words out. So we get pregnant again, and lo and behold, number 3 son shows up. We name him Benjamin. So yes, God does indeed speak to us if we're listening and if we can hear him. It is an emphatic yes. God does speak to us still by his Spirit. John 16, it says, the Spirit will declare to us the things that Jesus is saying to him. Yeah, go back and read that. John 16. So yes, God does indeed speak to his children. So yes, guys, come and join me. I'm starting this YouTube channel. As soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'd like to start doing live videos. I'm going to be putting out one long form video a week and several shorts throughout midweek. So hope you can join, and talk to you soon.